News and views from the best voices in our game. Subscribe to the Cricket News YouTube channel and press the bell icon for unparalleled cricket coverage.
Australia won the World Cup, and was there ever any doubt? No, seriously, was there? Because if yes, then that would be funny. I've lived for 24 years on this planet and I've never seen anyone make a safer bet. Australia winning the World Cup was as certain on the day of the final as for most before the tournament even began. And so we thought it's only right to have a look at their numbers, which clearly look like they are not real, but they are. Oh yes, they are very real. So we thought, let's have a look at their numbers, not just related to the final, not just related to the tournament, but pertaining to their 5-year journey that has been since the last World Cup to the final of the 2022 World Cup. And yeah, brace yourself, there are some screamers coming your way. So Rachel Haynes broke the record of Debbie Hockley, 25-year-old record of Debbie Hockley for most runs in a single edition of the World Cup. But in less than 2 hours, Alyssa Healy broke her record and also became the first woman to score 500 runs in one World Cup. But how she did get there is another interesting story. See, anyone who had followed Australia over the last 5 years knew of the monumental role that Alyssa Healy had played in that batting lineup and, of course, as a wicket-keeper. But in the league stage, she only scored 210 runs across 7 innings. But wait a second, then came the knockouts and then came the big match player. She scored 129 against West Indies in the semi-final and 170 against England in the final. This, of course, making her only the first. She also became the first player to score 150 in an ICC final. The highest score before this was that of her idol and former Australian wicketkeeper batter Adam Gilchrist, who scored 149 against Sri Lanka in the 2007 World Cup final. But not just this was also the second highest score by an Australia woman in an ODI innings, after Belinda Clark's 229, which she scored against Denmark in 1997. Australia scored 356 in their 50 overs, which was the first instance of the 350-run mark being breached in a women's ODI knockout game. England's Nat Skiver scored 148 not out, which was the third highest score in a World Cup final. And even then, England ended up on the losing side, which was telling of the fact that how strong a team this Australian side is and how big that total was. But if you saw their journey over the last 5 years, you probably saw it coming, right? I mean, since the last World Cup till before this one, they played 33 ODIs and won 31 of them. A win-loss fraction of 15.5. The second best during the same timeline was that of South Africa, which was 2.8. No offense to South Africa or any other team, because Australia were clearly writing a story of their own in a galaxy of their own. During the same time, Australia also manufactured the 26-game unbeaten ODI streak. This gulf between them and the rest of the teams was clearly highlighted in the league stage, as they beat every team, every 7 of the teams in the tournament, and then went on to beat West Indies and England again to lift the title. So now their complete record since the last World Cup to this World Cup final stands at 40 wins out of the 42 games that they've played. Now, there were, of course, talks of this being the best ODI team ever that women's cricket has seen, which are not wrong, but there were also comparisons being drawn of where this team stands in comparison to the great men's team that ODI cricket has seen, so the Australian teams that won 3 World Cups in a row, the West Indies in the 70s and the 80s, and well, the answer is clearly way above. As far as win-loss ratio on the road to a world title win is concerned, which is basically the win-loss ratio of a team from after a World Cup till the final that they have won, this Australia team stands apart from any other team. The 99 World Cup winning Australia side, the 2003 World Cup winning Australia side, or the 2007 World Cup winning Australia side. Yeah, they are one of a kind that the game has ever seen. Australia captain Meg Lanning is also in a league of her own, because out of the 159 men and women who have led their teams for 20 or more times in ODI cricket, her Australia or Australia under her have the best win-loss fraction, which is that of 8.25, which essentially means that they win 8.25 games before they lose one in ODI cricket, which is the best, yeah. You can imagine any captain, men or women, with a 20 or more game experience in ODI cricket and they won't better her. She is right there on top. Yeah. But hang on a second. Remember we were talking about a streak? A streak that ended for Australia, the 26 game unbeaten streak that ended for them last September. Well, they're right back at manifesting another one. And they're already 12 games into it. Heck of a team.